Blade_arts234 says, Day 2 asking for how to solo Broly Z with Saviour. Today, we are going to be soloing. What the hell?
Hi. Could you keep it down, keep it down.
You're being too loud. Nah. My apologies. You know, I had something stuck in my throat. Not to click. Yeah, I'll keep it down. Yo! We are soloing the Broly hard raid, Broly Z, and Blade Arts 234. If you're watching this, I'm gonna do you one extra, okay? You wanted it with Saviour? How about we do it with no souls at all? Okay, that's not entirely true, but if you can't get the legendary and Zenkai souls, then I'll teach you how to solo the raids with just a dual soul, which is accessible to everyone. If you want to know how I'm mastering my 8 while being able to move around, just let me know and I'll make a video on it. You're going to get the twins more often than not, okay? So you're going to need to know how to deal with them. All right, first and most obvious, we need to consider the moves. And the last 2 things you need to know to solo this raid are a few techniques. We're in a raid right now, so I can show you the moves and why they are actually useful to have in raids. So first is Eraser Blow. This move is compulsory, and on top of that, it's basically free. You just need to log in for 30 days, so there's literally no excuse. Next we have Dragon Burn. It's just like a move you use in between your M1s to just keep your DPS up. Same thing with Hurricane Blade. I'd say it's a mix of Eraser Blow and Dragon Burn. It's a bit of both. It stuns and does DPS as well. Next we have Adrenaline Pump. I'm saying this is like a must-have kind of thing, because when you do use these moves, you will run out of ki. So when you run out of ki, you don't want to really be standing there and charging. And also, like, removing your Kaioken and bringing it back is very inconvenient, and it can put you in very bad situations. But having Adrenaline Pump will be very useful. Meteor Crash, this is really optional. I wouldn't recommend it personally, because let me just show you real quick. You do a good deal of damage, but there you go. There's like end lag at the end of the move, and it gives Broly time to just smack your face. So I wouldn't suggest it. Like, what you need, whoa, what is going on? As I was saying, something really important you need to know is when you're doing these raids, there's a lot of things. What is going on? What? Bro, I'm trying to move and I can't move. What am I like? What is this? Yo, bro, what is this game? As I was saying, Force Shield comes in handy in different situations. But the main thing you need to take away is that you will not get the same situation twice, okay? Broly's, he's very unpredictable with his attacks, and you'll end up in different situations. Also, the fighting style as well, you can use Vegito. I'm using Gogeta because that is what I'm comfortable with. But, you know, people argue that Vegito is better. You know, I look at them like they're stupid. Well, you can listen to them if you really want to. All right, let's get into the techniques. Okay, I lied. Let's get into the Dragon Ball segment. See, if I get God, I will give it away. If I get God or Beast, I'll give it away. Oh my gosh. Not even a legendary. Are we kidding me? Are you kidding me? Not even a single legendary. Okay, now let's look at a few techniques that will help you in the Broly raid. While you're fighting Broly, sometimes what he likes to do is take your body and rock you side to side, okay? But you don't just have to sit there and take the damage, okay? Let me teach you some tech. All you have to do is when you're getting swung around like that, if you press your menu, press it again. Once you do that, you should be able to block and you won't take any more damage. Unless, of course, your shield gets broken. Okay, so the next piece of tech I want to show you is pretty deep in. Is after you kill the blonde-haired woman. After that, you just want to pull Kale behind the crystal, because she doesn't have any AoE moves that will hit you behind the crystal. So you can just have her there and use your moves like the Spirit Bomb or Supernova and just chip away at her health until she dies. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to solo the Broly raid. I'm using a dual soul right now, and for the most part, you don't even really need to charge it. You can charge the majority of the soul while you're in the raid, so you don't need to waste time trying to charge the soul. Okay, so now we're going to use the moves and the tech that we've learnt to solo this raid. As soon as the raid starts, I use the eraser blow to stun him and cycle through all my moves. When he throws out his main moves like Planet Crusher, you need to know that is the perfect time for you to get those free hits. But you also need to know when to block. Also, a big note is to use your stamina conservatively because it drains really fast. So that means controlling your dashes. Don't just dash unnecessarily. So I would suggest dashing once you reach the end of your M1 chains, and then you can just repeat that cycle. Here you see I run out of ki, but when I tried to use the adrenaline pump, it wasn't working. I think there's a glitch where if you die and respawn, it won't work. So you need to re-equip it every single time you do a raid. Once you face the twins, you want to target Caulifla because she's the problem. I would suggest moves like Hurricane Blade, throwing out your Ki Blasts, and when there's a good enough distance between both of the sisters, you can swoop in and hit like a Dragon Burn or a Eraser Blow to stun her. But always have the thought in your mind you want to go in and come out. If you stay there for too long, you'll take some serious damage. Alright, so we killed Caulifla with the soul. We're just gonna kill Hell using the technique I showed previously. I feel like this is something I need to mention because I know I'm going to get comments about it. You do not need SD5s or crazy SD to be able to do this. That's why I'm going to do it right now with a full set of SD3 gear. Broly S gear with SD3 on it, just to show you guys that you don't need crazy SD to do this. Where you lack in DPS, you'll make up for it with technique. Again, in this attempt, I wasn't able to use the adrenaline pump because of some kind of glitch. And really and truly, this run should have only been one death. I kind of trolled, but hopefully you guys can see that even with SD3s, a full set of SD3s with Broly S armor, you can still achieve the same outcome. And obviously, once you complete the first part of the raid, you go into the next raid with your soul. Okay, in the event that you do get Broly Z, which is very likely, I'll say just a simple answer is just to have a better soul. So then when you get to that stage, you just pop your soul and just, just deal with him. But the first part is always going to be the same. But something that I wanted to try out, let me just pop the Saviour soul real quick. we're going to use the Saviour Soul, but not in the raid, because when you apply your souls, when you use your souls in raid, they last a shorter amount of time. So if we use it before we get into the raid, I heard it lasts longer. So let's use it now and then put ourselves into a raid. And then people were telling me they were able to solo the whole raid like this. So let's just try it out quickly. Alright, so where's the damage? Right, there we go. Yeah, see, this is what I thought. Alright, so we still have the moves, but we don't have the power level. So I'm thinking this is what they did. But they used the moves in the later rounds. In the later stage, phase, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we got Broly Z. Okay, let's see how this works. Let's get into the bubble. Oh no. Okay. Some immunity there. Got that. Alright, see. Alright, let's make some space between us. We don't want to close combat because we don't have the power level to be, you know, engaging in such things. Oh crap. See the technique? That saved us right there. There we go. No way, we just entered the beam clash in Dragon Soul. That's crazy. Can we finish him? Alright, see? That's embarrassing. I think we can take him though. Oh, look, see, he's 5k health. Okay, so low-key, that is the strategy. Okay, what did we get? The pants. Low-key, that is the strategy. But in the second phase, you need to, you know, keep in mind that you don't have the power level. So, you know, you want to stay away. You can't be taking hits. So if you do have Saviour, that's a very viable option for you. Blade Arts _234. I hope that answered your question. And the days of asking is over. And if any of you have any other questions related to Dragon Soul or anything else that you want me to answer, let me know in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video or stream.